Yo. Welcome back, y'all. It's your boy Jay Jordan back again for another WNBA watch along. Tonight, it's the only game on the slate in the WNBA tonight. It's the Minnesota Lynx versus the LA Sparks. Janelle, I see you first. Izzy, Daniel, what's going on, people? My resident Sparks fan. What's going on? Well, Lynx versus Sparks. This is the third matchup of the season. So we shall see. Is the sound acting up? Let me know. Let me know if it's tripping. Um, it should be good. I hope it's good. But let me know if it's going in and out. But let me know, guys. Um, so we'll see how the Sparks and Lynx game shakes out. We'll touch on the starting lineups. Maybe I'm a little far from it. I have the mic a little far, so hopefully that fixes it. But we got for the Minnesota Lynx, we got Courtney Williams, Kayla McBride, Bridget Carlton, Dorka Juhas, and Alana Smith. All right, cool, Izzy. And the bench is Cecilia Zandalasini, Natisha Heidemann, Alyssa Pili, Diamond Miller, and Sika Kone. All right, the Minnesota Lynx do have some injuries. They do have some injuries. Of course, the biggest one is Napheesa Collier. She's out with a foot injury that she sustained a couple games ago, so she is out. You also have, for them, Olivia Epupo, the point guard from France. She's out with the injury as well. Olivia Pupa is out as well. Sparks, you have Stephanie Talbot. Stephanie Talbot's out with a foot injury. Lexi Brown is out with her Crohn's disease, and Cameron Brink ACL injury. Is this still messing up? Let me know. Then we can get that situated before we start. Let me see something right quick. But let me know, and I'll try and fix it as we go. For the starters for the LA Sparks, we have Ari McDonald, Kia Nurse, Rakia Jackson, Azare Stevens, and De'Erica Hamby. All right, cool, it's working. Thank you. The bench, we have Laisha Clarendon, Zaya Cook, Lee Ueru, Crystal Dangerfield, and Ray Burrell. They're dealing with injuries as well. The Sparks are. Of course, we know about Cameron Brink and the ACL. We have Stephanie Talbot, who's out with a foot injury, and Lexi Brown, who's out with Crohn's, as I mentioned. All right. The Lynx are in third place at the moment. They're 15-6. The Sparks are in 10th place right now with a 5-16 record. So we'll see how that matches up today for both teams. Daniel said, Jay, thoughts on this? Let me put your comment up. I need to start. I've fallen off. I used to put everybody's comments off, and I've fallen off. Daniel says, Jay, thoughts on the Spark season so far? We did beat the Aces twice last season. Twice this season, excuse me. It's just the injuries. You guys just haven't been super consistent. You've been in the games till the end and just haven't been able to close them out. This matchup against the Lynx, you guys haven't won a game this season. The last game was pretty close. You guys lost 76-81. But the lineup is totally different now. There's no Cameron Brink. You have Azare Stevens, who is back from her shoulder injury that she sustained in the offseason. So we'll see how that backcourt of Hamby and Azare mesh. They played a good amount last season together. So it'll just take some getting used to again for both. But overall, you guys, it could be worse. It honestly could be worse. But I think you guys after the Olympics will be a much better team. Rakia Jackson starting to hoop for the Sparks. The rookie. She had like 22 last game. Unfortunately, it was in a loss because Natasha Cloud had her career high, but Rakia was putting in work. All right, in terms of season leaders for both teams, you have Napheesa Collier, who's out tonight. She leads their team, the Minnesota Lynx, at 20 points a game. De'Erica Hamby right behind her for the Sparks at 19.1 points a game. In terms of rebounds, Napheesa leading the team in rebounds, 10.2 rebounds a game. De'Erica Hamby leading her team in rebounds, 10.4 rebounds a game. And in terms of assists, you have Courtney Williams, 5.4 assists. You have Ari McDonald for the Sparks at 4 assists a game. The Lynx in their last 5 games, I didn't know that. They're 2-3 in their last 5 games. They lost to Dallas, New York, and Connecticut. And the Sparks, they're 1-4 in their last 5 games. Their only win was the overtime win against the Aces a couple days ago. But they've lost to Phoenix, Washington. Well, Phoenix twice, Washington, and New York. So both teams in a little bit of a rut in their last 5 games. We shall see how they all respond in this one. The game starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, so it's 9:52 here on the East Coast. We got about 8 minutes until game time. 8 minutes until game time. This game is on League Pass. I'm not sure if the WNBA is streaming it on Twitter/X, whatever they want to call it. But this game is on League Pass as well. Hey Beulah, what's going on? Good to see you as always. In terms of news that took place, as we saw, I think it was yesterday, Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson won the Player of the Week award. The WNBA does their Player of the Week award from, I think it's Monday to Sunday. Monday to Sunday is considered their week, and they announced the award on Mondays. So Angel Reese, hell of a week. She had averaged around 19 points and like 14 rebounds. A'ja Wilson put in work as well. She was continuing her MVP form. She averaged like around 26 points a game with 10 rebounds. So both players, salute to them. The correct stats: Angel averaged 16.8 points a game with 14 rebounds and 1.2 assists. A'ja Wilson averaged 25.2 points a game, 9.2 rebounds, and 3 assists. So salute to those ladies. Games include June 27th to July 7th. That's the week for the weekly awards. So salute to both those ladies. Salute to both of them. And as we all know, the WNBA is a forward/center driven league, I should say. If you look at the best players in the league, you got Breanna Stewart, A'ja Wilson, Alyssa Thomas. Those 3 players were all MVP candidates last year. Napheesa Collier was in that as well. When Elena Delle Donne is healthy, she's in there as well. So as you can see, a lot of the best players in the league come from that forward position. So that's where the stats tend to lean to. But got to give the other players credit, such as like Caitlin Clark, as we talked about the last stream, triple-double against My Liberty in the win. So you got to, the guards are trying to make their name for themselves. Kelsey Plum had a hell of a week last week as well. She was knocking down a bunch of threes in consecutive games. But salute to those players. All right, we'll talk about it a little later, but tomorrow, guys, all the games are during the day. If you're on the East Coast, morning time. If you're on the West Coast, it's camp day for for all the teams that are playing tomorrow. We'll touch on that schedule at halftime, but I'll be on early, 10:45 a.m. Eastern. The Liberty play at 11 a.m. against the Connecticut Sun in Connecticut. So I will be on for that stream in the morning, 10:45 a.m. Eastern. You have the Fever playing at 12, and the Lynx playing at not the Lynx, the Sky playing at 12 as well. So a lot of early games tomorrow. I know people are probably at work or at school or doing whatever they have to do to do whatever they have to do. So if you just tune in on YouTube, I'll keep you updated on all the scores, all the stats as we go. I may do 2 streams tomorrow because there's a game that starts at 3 o'clock as well. So just be on the lookout for that. Hey Liz, what's going on? Hope all is well, Liz. Salute, salute. And Beulah says, I hope the Liberty win tomorrow. I hope so too. If I'm gonna be streaming at 11 a.m., they better win. All right, so we're about 4 minutes out. About 4 minutes out from this game. Anybody have any predictions? I think the Sparks will win this game. I'm gonna give this game to the Sparks, even without I think the Lynx without Napheesa Collier. I don't think it's too big of a loss, but I think she was a main part of the reason why they were playing so well, even though they did win the last game. But I still think the Sparks at home with Azare Stevens back will get the win. They did beat Washington. The Lynx beat Washington, and Washington's not a good team. So I do think the Sparks, coming off that loss to Phoenix, a close game, 84-78, they'll get the win this evening. The line on this game, Minnesota is 4.5-point favorite, so they're favored to win by 5 points or more. I think the Sparks will cover that as the underdog. Alrighty. Can't wait for this game. The only game on the schedule today. Napheesa Collier. There's no timetable at the moment. Pictures surfaced with her in a boot, so who knows how long that means for them, or for her, I should say. They're probably gonna hold her out as long as possible so she can play in the Olympics. Of course, her coach is the Olympic coach team. I don't think it's easy for me to say there may not be a conflict of interest wanting her to play in the Olympics, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the goal, to at least let her get as healthy as possible to play in the Olympics. As you know, there's already players missing that got hurt that won't be able to play, such as Cameron Brink in the 3-on-3, Ryan Howard potentially in 3-on-3 as well. So they'll probably try and nurse that injury as much as possible. All right, they're doing the introduction of players. I like the Sparks. They always start their broadcasts when they're the home team. They start their broadcasts early instead of just leaving it on the WNBA slate, so we can see all the in-arena entertainment. The players to watch in this game is gonna come from the position between Rickea Jackson and I'm gonna say Bridget Carleton. I think that's the matchup to watch. Bridget Carleton, very good 3-point shooter. Rickea Jackson coming into her own. She's been putting up solid numbers over the last couple games, so I expect her to continue that. She's looking like the second or third option on that team behind De'Erica, and some nights is Ari McDonald. But I think Rickea Jackson will have something to say in this game, especially coming off of that 22-point game on the road against the Mercury on Sunday. She had 22 points and 6 rebounds in 37 minutes on Sunday. 2 for 4 from 3 for her. So I think playing against the Lynx, they'll probably try and focus a lot on De'Erica. She'll have ample opportunity to put up solid numbers tonight. All right, it is now just 10 p.m. Eastern. They're starting the official broadcast. Game is on League Pass. Hope you stay along. If you don't have League Pass, I will give you all the information we can. We'll look at the halftime stats. We'll talk about the schedule for tomorrow. So just stick around, like, subscribe if you haven't already. And we're going to have a good evening here. Oh, Lexi Brown is actually on the call for this game. Lexi Brown and Rashawn Haylock. Lexi, as we all know, well, as we probably don't know, but as she announced, she suffers from Crohn's disease. They kept her out a lot of last season. She started off this season, and then it started affecting her again. So she is unable to play. but she's going to be on the broadcast as the color commentator beside their usual Mr. Haylock. Alrighty. Alrighty. So they're talking about Rickea Jackson, as I mentioned. She is the focus for tonight after that monster game for her last one. They're focusing on Kayla McBride for the Lynx. Kayla McBride started off the season super hot from three. She's shooting 44% from three. That's fourth in the WNBA. But there was a point where every game she was knocking down multiple threes. She's in a little bit of a rut now, not hitting as many. But they're going to depend on her tonight, especially tonight, because no Napheesa Collier. And they're also talking about Bridget Carleton. Hey, John, Bridget Carleton is playing. They're also focusing on her. She averages 7.9 points against the rest of the league. Against LA, she doubles that, almost doubles it. She's averaging 13 points a game against the Sparks. So Bridget and Kayla McBride are the focus, as according to the Lynx broadcast. The starting lineups are on your screen. These are the correct starting lineups as they have here on the broadcast. Azurá Stevens, as I mentioned, getting her first start of the season after being out, hurting her shoulder overseas. She played her first game last game, and now she's in the start due to Stephanie Talbot being out with a foot injury. Right, Kurt Miller, coach of the Sparks, and you have Cheryl Reeve, coach of the Minnesota Lynx. John says Hamby was a surprise this year. Yep. She's really trying to fight for that most improved, or I don't even know. But tip-off is off. It's Azurá versus Dorka Juhas, and the Lynx have the ball. Bridget Carleton, we just spoke about her, has the ball over to Kayla McBride off the curl. Foul line jumper is good, and the Lynx are on the board. Lynx are on the board, 2-0. Ari McDonald with the ball, over to Rickea. Rickea back to Ari. Ari on the drive. Ari over to Azurá Stevens. She drives, fall away jump shot, and Azurá Stevens is on the board. It's 2-2. Hey, Mom, what's going on? Azurá Stevens can score from pretty much anywhere on the floor, and she's a tall player. There's a foul here. Kia Nurse on the push on Alana Smith. So that's Kia Nurse first foul of the game. So Minnesota to inbound here. Carleton over to Alana Smith. Alana Smith to Dorka Juhas. Over to Kayla McBride. Wide open for three. She pulls short. Rebound. Ari McDonald. Ari McDonald on the run. Quickly up court. Gets it out to Kia Nurse. And they call a travel on Ari McDonald. So turnover. First turnover of the game for the Sparks. Minnesota ball here. Ball in play with the Lynx and Courtney Williams. Handoff to Alana Smith. Backdoor to Carleton. Goes up for the layup, and Bridget Carleton is on the board. So it's 4-2. Ari McDonald, she had a great game against the Sparks. Not so great against the Mercury. But we'll see how she does tonight. Ari McDonald over to Azurá Stevens. Stevens over to Rickea Jackson. Rickea Jackson over to Ari McDonald. 8 on the shot clock. Ari goes right off the screen. Picks up her dribble. Oh, good pass to Erica Hamby, who gets fouled by Alana Smith. Do they say it's on the ground? Yeah, they say the foul was before the shot, so it's sideline out of bounds for the Sparks there. The good no-look pass by Ari McDonald to find De'Erica Hamby. Daniel, salute. What's going on, bro? A ball in play with the Sparks. Ari McDonald off the screen from Azare. Out to De'Erica. De'Erica over to Ari. 5 on the shot clock. Down to Azare. They bring the double. Azare shoots over them. Air ball. Rebound. Kayla McBride. McBride on the run here. Over to Alana Smith. Over to Courtney Williams. Comes off the screen. Drop off to Alana. Alana finds a cutting Dorka Yuha. She goes up. Misses. Rebound to Azare Stevens. Left side to Rakia Jackson. She crosses half court. Ari McDonald, top of the key. She drives out to Kia Nurse for corner 3. Misses. Rebound to Courtney Williams. Williams over to Bridget. Bridget throws it down to Dorka Yuhas in the post against Kia Nurse. That's a mismatch. She spins. Left-hand layup is good. That was a mismatch from the beginning of that. It's 6-2 Minnesota. Ari McDonald with the ball. Ari McDonald. Oh, it's De'Erica down to Azare. Ball gets tipped out of bounds by Dorka Yuhas. So it's 8 on the shot clock here. 8 seconds on the shot clock. It's LA ball under their basket. Ari McDonald to inbound. Gets it to Azare Stevens. Back to Ari McDonald. 5 on the shot clock. Finds Kia Nurse on the cut. What a play out. And that's a layup to Kia Nurse. What a play. From the side, the baseline out of bounds. Kia Nurse gets a wide open layup. It's 6-4 Minnesota. Bridget Carlton over to Dorka. Dorka handoff to Courtney Williams. She goes right, guarded by Azare, goes baseline and steps out of bounds. Turnover to Courtney Williams. They're showing the replay of that previous LA play. I thought it was a slow developing play. It worked out perfectly for them as Kia Nurse gets the layup. Ball in play. 6-4 Minnesota, ball with LA and Ari McDonald. Ari McDonald right side of the floor over to Kia Nurse. To Azare Stevens, top of the key. Hand off to Ari McDonald, going to her strong left hand. No look to Azare. She saves it, goes over to Kia Nurse. Kia Nurse out Azare for the corner 3 and air ball. And it's a shot clock violation. It's Minnesota ball. Ball in play with the Lynx. Alana Smith over to Courtney Williams. Top of the key. Calls for the screen. Gets the screen from Dorka. Double crossover on Azare. She shoots over Azare. And she knocks down the mid-range jump shot. Courtney Williams. So it's 8-4 Minnesota. Ari McDonald with the ball down to, bad pass. Kayla McBride with the steal. Kayla McBride on the run. Goes up. Left-hand layup is good. And timeout, Kurt Miller. 10-4 Minnesota. 6:09 to go here in the first quarter. Minnesota Lynx 10, LA Sparks 4. So a little bit of a shaky start for the Sparks. They got two nice baskets, but a couple turnovers here for them, leading to buckets for the Minnesota Lynx. So looking at the leading scorers so far, we have Azare Stevens with 2, Kia Nurse with 2 for the Sparks. You have Kayla McBride with 4, Courtney Williams with 2, Yuhas with 2, and Bridget Carlton with 2. All right, so they were in a little bit of a commercial. They're showing the in-game entertainment right now. John said Sparks did good against the Mercury. Yeah, they hung around as long as they could. They just couldn't. They were on the comeback trail, but Natasha Cloud had her career high, 31 points. You're not gonna win too many games if Natasha Cloud, who's primarily a distributor of the basketball, gives you 31. I remember Natasha Cloud played the Liberty a lot last season, and that playoff game, she gave it her all. She was abusing us, but thankfully we were able to overcome and ended up winning that game. All right, doesn't look like too much of a packed house here in LA this evening. At least the angle that they're showing me doesn't look too packed tonight. Tomorrow, as I was saying earlier, guys, we'll talk about it at halftime. We'll go through the games and stuff, but there's about 5 games tomorrow. The earliest one starts at 11 a.m. Eastern. The latest one starts at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Hey, Keita, what's going on? Keita says, just want to drop in and say what's up. I think the Sparks are going to give the Lynx a good run for their money. Yeah, I was saying that right before. I think the Sparks can potentially steal this game here. It's early. We know the Sparks, they could, once they put in Ray Burrell and Zaya Cook, they can really go on a run here. I don't think the Lynx bench is as deep as the Sparks bench in terms of scoring. But we shall see what happens. Ball and play with the Sparks. And Aaron McDonald. Aaron McDonald finds Lee Yuru, who's checked into the game. Back to Aaron McDonald. Oh, she tries to feed Laisha Clarendon. Another turnover by Ari. Bridget Carlton up the court. Alonda Smith, top of the key, 3, and misses. Rebound to Kia Nurse. Nurse over to McDonald, right side of the floor. Gets the screen from Yuru. Finds Yuru, and it goes out of bounds again. I think it went through Yuru's hands, so that's another turnover there. Substitutions made. Aaron McDonald out. Ray Burrell in. And ball's back at play with the Lynx. Alonda Smith over to Bridget Carlton. Down to Dorka Juhas. Dorka Juhas back to Courtney Williams. Mid-range jump shot is off. Kia Nurse, another rebound. Clarendon, left side of the floor, goes center. Looks for Kia Nurse. Kia Nurse on the drive. And she throws up the floater. Looked out of control there. And Bridget Carlton gets the long rebound. Looks like she jammed her hand on the defense there. But Courtney Williams has the ball. Over to Alonda Smith. She pump fakes, drives, goes up, adjusts, and gets fouled. So foul on Lee Yuru. That's her first foul of the game. So Alonda Smith going to the line for 2 free throws. So the thing with the Lynx, they have very capable 3-point shooters all over the floor. So it's hard to match up as Alonda Smith hits the first free throw. Hey, cuz, salute. Ilface says, what do you think the problem is with the Sparks? I feel like they should be a much better team. Their best players aren't consistent enough. She hits the second, Alonda Smith does. It's 12-4. You touched on it, Ilface. Not consistent enough. I don't know exactly. As Clarendon shoots a 3 and air balls and rebound to Bridget Carlton. I think it's mainly just the players not playing enough with each other, and just sometimes they just have bad decision making. It's like the IQ isn't always up to par. Yeah, Rakia definitely is the future, like Keita said in the chat. Future is definitely through Rakia as she shoots the 3 just off the rim. Rebound to Yuru, gets fouled. So Lee Yuru to the line for 2. Rakia, Cam, and Hamby. That's your 3, 4, and 5 right there. I don't know if they go through the draft to get the guard position situated or they trade away some pieces. I know they had Julie Alamon from Belgium. I know she was supposed to play, but she's hurt this season. So I think that's who they were going to go with at the starting point guard position as Yuru hits the free throw. De'Erica Hamby checks back into the game as well. So I think once they get Julie back, if Julie's healthy, I should say, I guess they'll try and see what they have there. Nurse is very sometime-ish as Yuru hits both free throws. Ball and play with the Lynx. Kayla McBride off the curl. Throws up a foul line floater. Misses. Clarendon with the rebound. Clarendon on the drive, gets into the paint, throws it out to Yuru. Left side to Rakia. Rakia guarded by Heidemann, who's checked into the game for the Lynx. Clarendon on the drive. Clarendon goes up with the layup, throws it up, and scores. Layshia Clarendon on the board there. And it's 12-8. So the Lynx within 4 here. The Lynx within 4. Alana Smith with the ball. Tries to drive on Hamby. Gets her in the post. Corner to Kayla McBride with the pump fake. Oh, good pass to Dorka Juhas foul. And 1 assist to Kayla McBride and Dorka Juhas knocks down the layup. So going back to that previous conversation about the Sparks, hoping Cam Brink comes back and has no setbacks with the ACL. You have Rakia having a full year of development. You have Hamby continuing what she's done as Dorka completes the 3-point play. And then you have, let's say, depending on what happens with Julie, I think she's still on the contract. So you have Julie Alamon. And then you have to figure out what you want to do at the shooting guard positions. Yuru with the spin move and misses the layup. Beautiful move, just missed it. Heidemann with the ball. Heidemann over to Xander Lassini, who's checked in. Dorka Juhas at the foul line, tries to go up and under. Xander Lassini, foul line jump shot is good. Xander Lassini, beautiful jumper on her. She knocks down her first basket. It's 17-8. It's LA with the ball now. Over to Rakia Jackson. Over to De'Erica, right side to Layshia. She gets the screen from De'Erica. She gets into the paint. Good cut by Ray Burrell. Gets fouled by Alana Smith. Good baseline cut by Burrell, so she'll go to the line for free throws. Rakia says they need to draft a PG. Rakia. Keita says they need to draft a PG or a shooting guard for next year. They should keep Nurse. They should keep Nurse, but have her come off the bench next year because she can get streaky. Yeah, exactly. Like Nurse there was a game against Seattle, I think, where Kia Nurse went crazy from 3, and then the next game, she couldn't buy a bucket. So definitely a very, very streaky Kia Nurse coming off the bench as your 6th player is solid. As Ray Burrell does hit that free throw, she's at the line for the second. Ilface says, they'll be getting a top pick for sure, or do they have some type of limitations? No limitations. The W, as Burrell hits both free throws, the W combines the previous year and the current season record-wise in determining odds for the lottery. So LA wasn't good last year, and if they are not good again this year. Napheesa Heidemann with a step-through move at the foul line and scores. So it's 19-10 Minnesota. I'm sorry. Just interrupted my thought. That was a good up and under move by Napheesa Heidemann, and she's on the board. Burrell down to Hamby. Hamby against Pali. Alyssa Pali is checked in, and she gets fouled. Hamby is fouled by Xander Lassini on the reach-in. So Alyssa Pali getting minutes. That's interesting. So the lineups on the floor: Juhas, Pali, Xander Lassini, Heidemann, and Diamond Miller for the Lynx. Ball and play with the Sparks, who have Hamby, Yuru, Burrell, Rakia, and Clarendon. Ray Burrell, step back jump shot, short, but bounces around Xander Lassini with the long rebound. Xander Lassini finds Diamond Miller on the cut, and she gets the reverse layup. So as I was giving the Sparks some credit, Rakia Jackson goes in and gets blocked by Xander Lassini. Rebound to Heidemann. It's 21-10 here. Oh, Heidemann with the crossover on Clarendon. Pass to Miller. Pali, top of the key 3. Alyssa Pali knocks down the 3. Time out LA. Just as I gave the Sparks some credit for getting it to within 4, just like that, it's a 14-point lead for the Minnesota Lynx. Tudo, salute on the Twitch. So what do I think? New York win tomorrow? They better win tomorrow. They need to redeem themselves after blowing that lead to the Fever on, what day was that, Saturday? They need to redeem themselves. But Alyssa Pali on her first shot of the game knocks down a wide open 3, top of the key. And and the Sparks have to call a timeout. Lynx on a 9-2 run here. It's a minute 40 to go, people. A 1 minute 40 to go here. So any bets tomorrow, good sir? Bro, I barely looked at it. I was gonna look at it after this game, but I was so busy trying to get some in for this game, but it's not looking good so far. If the Sparks, if Hamby's not gonna score here, I have Hamby for 15 tonight. She's has 0. Yeah, so Hamby, their leading scorer, literally has no stats, no points, no rebounds, and no assists, no field goal attempts. Rakia, no points as well. So the Sparks to inbound here after that timeout. It's 24-10, a minute 40 to go here in the first quarter. I feel like this quarter is a little longer than usual. Clarendon with the ball. Clarendon over to De'Erica. Over to Zaya Cook, who's checked into the game. Zaya Cook down to De'Erica, guarded by Pali, and they call a foul on Pali for the reach-in on Hamby. Kurt Miller was begging for that foul there. First personal on Pali. So it's 24-10. Let's see if the Sparks can go on a run to end this first quarter. Oh, they're in the bonus here. So the Sparks at the line, De'Erica Hamby, first free throw, and it rattles in. So Hamby finally on the board here. Hamby averaging 23 and 9 in the last 5 games. She hits both free throws, ball in play. Heidemann, Uhas, Xander Lassini, Miller, and Pali. Heidemann with the ball. Gets the screen from Uhas, drops it off to Uhas on the roll. Xander Lassini wide open in front of the Lynx bench for 3. That's money in the bank, and she knocks it down wide open. 27-12. Lynx are 11 for 16 from the field in this quarter. Clarendon over to Rakia. Rakia on the drive. She goes up, throws up the floater, bounces around, and Rakia Jackson knocks down the floater. As she's on the board here. 27-14. Under a minute to go. Heidemann, left side of the floor. Handoff to Diamond Miller. Alyssa Pali give and go with Diamond, and she scores. Good pass from Pali. And it's 29-14 here. De'Erica Hamby attacking Pali, barbecue chicken, and she scores. Barbecue chicken alert. Pali just can't match up with Hamby on that end. It's just not going to work. So 29-16 here, 24 seconds to go. Heidemann, they're going to probably run the same play again. Over to Xander Lassini, to Uhas. Another give and go there. And she smokes the layup. Rebound to Hamby. Hamby on the run. 14 seconds. They'll probably play for one shot here. They go to Zaya Cook. Over to Rakia Jackson. 8 on the clock. 7. They go to Hamby. Hamby pump fakes. Too far under the basket. Pali to Heidemann. Heidemann throws up. I don't think she got it off in time and missed anyway. And that's the end of the first quarter. So at the end of the first, the Lynx 29. The Sparks 16. That last basket, Hamby got a little too far under the basket on Pali. Just shot it and it bounced off the bottom of the rim there. But the Lynx doing what they've been doing all season, whether they have Napheesa or not, moving the ball around, great pick and rolls. The bigs are slipping those picks as well, giving goals, coming off curls. Minnesota's offense, especially when they have a bunch of shooters, is a tough guard, as the Sparks are finding out. So we're getting ready for the second quarter. Let me get everything ready here. And we're good to go. All right. Let's see if my widget has loaded with the game leaders. Yes, it has. Let's get that up. Cool. So at the end of the first, we have Dorka Uhas leading the way with, well, tied for the Lynx point lead with 5. She's tied with Zandalicini off the bench. Everybody in their starting lineup has scored. Everybody who's come into the game has scored for the Lynx. At least 2 points from everybody. So that shows you the offensive balance that they have. They're shooting 66% from the field, 50% from 3. And they only have 2 turnovers. The Sparks, on the other hand, everybody in the starting lineup has scored, but Aari McDonald, she did have 4 turnovers in that first quarter. All 4 of the turnovers were by her. You have Hamby with 4, Stevens with 2, Rickea Jackson with 2, Kia Nurse with 2, Lee Yarou with 2, Clarendon with 2, and Ray Burrell with 2. They're shooting 33% from the field, 5 for 15. They've missed all 4 of their 3-point attempts, but they have made all 6 of their free throws. Yeah, the Sparks. I do think they'll come back. The Sparks, sometimes they have some slow starts, but they always tend to make it a game in the end. I think once they settle in, they'll be fine. They're at home. They have the home crowd behind them. 13-point game is not insurmountable this early in the game, but they do have to shore up their defensive rotations. Figure out how they want to guard these screens that the Minnesota Lynx are throwing up. Johns asks, without Collier, they're still dominating. Haas with 5 points and 2 assists, no rebounds. So Laisha Clarendon, 900th career assist in tonight's game. She got that in that last quarter. As her 11, I forgot the correct pronoun, but the 11th season for Clarendon as the ball starts the second quarter in her hands. Clarendon, Cook, Hamby, Nurse, Stevens. Clarendon on the drive, left hand, floater is good off the glass. So she knocks down the first basket of the second quarter for the Sparks. 29-18. Heidemann with the ball. It looks like the Sparks adjusted. They're switching on those screens. Juhas over to Heidemann. Heidemann goes right hand. She pulls back, dribble, step back, long 2 off the front of the rim. Rebound to Stevens. Stevens, outlet to Hamby. Hamby guarded by Miller. And they call a blocking foul on Diamond Miller. John says Talbot has been doing great. Too bad, yeah. She had a hell of a game against the Aces on Friday, I believe that was, in that upset win. So it's sideline out of bounds for the Sparks. Sideline out of bounds. Nurse to inbound, gets it to Clarendon. Clarendon, left side of the floor. She goes back right, gets into the paint, throws up the floater, and it rolls in. So Clarendon has scored the first 4 points of the quarter for the Sparks. 29-20, 9-point game here. Zandalicini over to Juhas, back to Zandalicini, guarded by Zaya. Cook. Zandalicini out to Pali down, and they call a kickball on Hamby. So it'll be sideline out of bounds for the Lynx. So it's 29-20, just under 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ball in play. Heidemann with the ball. Heidemann off the screen from Juhas. Goes right, snatch back dribble. Clarendon all over her. Hand off to Zandalicini. 5 on the shot clock. Zandalicini crossover, and they call a foul. Clarendon gets her hand in the cookie jar. Bad foul with that many seconds left on the clock. So the clock resets to 14. It's still Minnesota ball. Diamond Miller to inbound right side of the floor. Looking for somebody. They get it to Heidemann in the corner. Out to Diamond Miller on the drive on Kia Nurse. She goes up, throws up a wild left-hand shot. Rebound to Azare. Over to Clarendon. Over to Hamby. Hamby corner to Cook. Cook comes off the screen. Gets into the paint. Throws up. I think she tried to throw a pass to Hamby. It gets deflected. Lynx with the steal. Heidemann comes off the screen. Over to Juhas. Juhas on the drive. Gets cut off. Over to Diamond Miller on the drive. She goes up with the left hand layup again. And they call a foul on Kia Nurse. Kia Nurse is saying she's using that right arm to fend her off. Telling the ref that to watch that. Diamond Miller goes across. 1, 2. Yeah, she's throwing that right arm as a fend off as she's going up with the left. But they call Nurse with the foul. So McDonald to check in, Clarendon out as Miller hits the first free throw. Diamond Miller, second pick overall in last year's draft, went to University of Maryland. Miller for the second, and she knocks down both. So it's 31-20, back to a double-digit lead here. Aaron McDonald for the Sparks has the ball. She had 4 turnovers in that first quarter. Let's see if she could correct that. Over to Azare, top of the key. Corner to Cook. Cook on the drive. Gets around Zandalicini. Zandalicini with the foul. That might be her second of the game if it is on Zandalicini. It is. That's her second foul. 31-20. It's a shooting foul. So Zia Cook to the line for free throws. Zia Cook, first free throw is good. Zia Cook not getting too many minutes this season as she hits the second. Only getting about 9 minutes this season as she hits both free throws. It's 31-22. Dorka Juhas with the ball. Over to Diamond Miller. Diamond Miller looking to attack Kia Nurse. They go top to Pili. Pili, another 3, same spot. Too long. Long rebound goes out to Diamond Miller. Good deflection by the Sparks. They had Dorka right under the basket. Zandalicini pokes the ball from Hamby on the break, and it's another turnover by the Lynx. Zandalicini over to Heidemann. And Dorka Juhas draws the foul on Aaron McDonald. Juhas was trying to post Aaron McDonald. If you could picture that. Juhas is about 6'5", 6'4". McDonald's probably 5'7", 5'8". So if you could picture that mismatch, that's exactly how it looked there. Minnesota ball, though. They inbound to Alyssa Pili. Hand off to Heidemann. Heidemann crossover on McDonald. Looking for Zandalicini. She steps back for 3. Oh, doesn't even hit the rim. And all net for Zandalicini on the step back. 12-point game. 34-22. McDonald, handoff to Hamby. She needs to get involved here. Over to Zia Cook. She drives right, snatchback dribble. Over to Hamby. Hamby pivots at the foul line. Finds McDonald on the cut. Throws up the layup. Misses. Rebound to Pili. Over to Heidemann. They have a 3-on-2 here if they want it. Heidemann drop off to Juhas. Juhas goes up, misses the layup. Rebound to Stevens. Stevens over to McDonald. McDonald on the drive, bounces off Heidemann and scores. Aaron McDonald. And ball back at play with the Lynx. It's a 10-point game, 34-24. And a timeout by Cheryl Reeve and the Lynx. So in this quarter, the Sparks are outscoring the Lynx 8-5 so far. 10-point game. But Zandalicini putting in work for the Lynx off the bench. She's up to 8 points to lead all scorers in this game. All right, so we're at a commercial now. In commercial here. Salute to everybody on the watch along. Salute. Only game on the slate tonight. Only game. There's got about 5 games tomorrow. All camp day games. All camp day games tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. I will be on around 10:45 a.m. Eastern time. The Liberty do play the Connecticut Sun in Connecticut at 11 a.m. So as I mentioned, Zandalicini leading all scorers with 8 points, 2 of 2 from 3-point range. For the Lynx, everybody has scored, which is a good sign. Everybody who's checked into the game for both teams has at least scored 2 points. All right. So the Lynx, with that bench lineup on the floor for the Lynx, the Sparks had a chance to capitalize on that. They should have kept going to that Hamby Alyssa Pili matchup was working towards the end of that first quarter. I would have went right back to that matchup to start the second. Hamby scored a quick 4 points on Pili. That's not her strong suit, guarding out, guarding bigs and guarding out on the perimeter against a mobile big like that. But they went away from that, or Hamby didn't look to capitalize on that matchup. Let's see if they go back to it. They're definitely gonna make some subs. The Lynx are. Cheryl Reeve had some players checking in. But in order for the Sparks to have a chance in this game, Hamby has to be more involved. And Rakia Jackson definitely has to be more involved. So McBride into the game for Heidemann, Bridget Carlton in for Diamond Miller, Courtney Williams in for Cecilia Zandalicini, and Alana Smith probably coming in for Dorka Juhas. Oh, Lindsey Vaughn, what is she, a skier? She's at the game here. They have her on the camera. So, as I mentioned, wholesale changes, all the starters back into the game for the Lynx. All starters in for the Sparks as well. Ball in play with the Lynx and Courtney Williams. John says Hamby settles sometimes. Ball gets tipped into the backcourt so the Lynx can recover. Courtney Williams on the drive, right side. She pulls up for her favorite mid-range, misses. And Hamby, that might be her first rebound in the game. Second rebound, excuse me. Aaron McDonald with the ball. I'm not sure. I saw Vaughn at the Liberty game as well. Hamby gets the pass from Aaron McDonald and scores. 34-26. So it's back to single digits here. Let's see if the Sparks can capitalize. They throw the double at... Oh, Alyssa Pili still in the game. She shoots a three and misses. Alana Smith with the rebound over at Hamby. Over to Courtney Williams. Pump fakes. So Williams over to Bridget Carlton. Her first three is good. Bridget Carlton, that's what she does. She knocks down threes and is back to double digits. 37-26. So I misspoke. I thought it was all the starters for the Lynx. It's all the starters but Juhas. Alyssa Pili. And as Azare takes a three to answer right back, Azare says, anything you could do, I could do better. She knocks down the top of the key three to get it back to 8 points. 37-29 here. Approaching 5 minutes to go. Bridget Carlton over to Courtney Williams. Over to Alyssa Pili. Pili's is palming the ball. She got some big hands. She tries to drive, fumbles it, goes up on Stevens and misses. Rebound to Hamby. Hamby on the run here. Hamby looking to attack Carlton. She goes in, throws it out to Aaron McDonald. They're trying to post up Hamby. They go to Stevens, top of the key. Left side to Nurse, and they call a foul on Bridget Carlton on Hamby away from the ball. Bridget Carlton, the Canadian Olympian, with the foul on Hamby. So you have Rakia Jackson, the inbound here, left side of the floor, gets it to Ari McDonald. Ari comes off the screen from Azare. She's probing, goes up to Hamby. Hamby tries to drive on Smith. Hand it back to McDonald. 5 on the clock, over to Kia Nurse. 4 seconds. Kia Nurse, step back, jump shot, in and out, and Alana Smith secures the rebound. Alana Smith out to McBride. McBride, quick trigger from 3, in and out. And Hamby secures the rebound. This is the Sparks' chance here to cut into this deficit. Aaron McDonald calling out the "you can't see me" play. I don't know what that is. But Aaron McDonald passed to Hamby. Hamby left wing 3. Hamby knocks down the 3. Oh, did I hit the wrong team? Nope, I got it. So it's a 5-point game here. As I said, the Sparks, they're hanging around. They'll settle in. Hamby goes for the steal on Alana Smith. It deflects it, doesn't go. Alana Smith, they call a foul before the basket on Hamby on the reach-in. But De'Erica Hamby is trying to be a little bit more assertive. And anytime she's aggressive, it bodes well for the Sparks. 5-point game here. Hamby up to 9 points and 4 rebounds. 4 minutes to go here. 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Bridget Carlton to inbound, gets it to Courtney Williams in the right corner. She comes off the screen from Alana Smith. Rescreen from Alana Smith. Over the head pass to Juhas, who's checked back in for Pili. Courtney Williams down to Alana Smith. Fall away jump shot. Bounces around and good. Great defense by the Lynx. By the Sparks. Alana Smith hits a tough fall away jump shot. 7-point game here. Ari McDonald guarded by Courtney Williams. Oh, she almost loses the ball. Gets into the paint. Goes up. And Dorka Juhas swats that into the front row. Good block by Dorka. It's LA ball. Ari McDonald to inbound under her basket. Looking. And what do they call? A foul before the inbound against Bridget Carlton. That's her second foul. Bridget Carlton they call her on, that might be her second foul. Away from the play foul for Bridget Carlton. Kia Nurse at the line and hits the technical free throw there. So it's 39-33, 6-point game here. LA to inbound again under their basket. Aaron McDonald inbounds, and they call an offensive foul on Rickea Jackson. So it's a turnover to the Sparks. So Rickea, only with 2 points so far on 1 of 3 shooting as the ball is in play with the Lynx. Courtney Williams crosses half court over to Alana Smith. Alana Smith on the right side of the floor looking for McBride. McBride comes off the screen. Corner to Bridget Carlton. Top to Juhas. Juhas on the drive. Throws up the floor. A good block by Azare Stevens. She goes reverse and it rolls in. So Juhas gets her rebound after the block by Stevens and scores the layup. 41-33 Lynx. McDonald to Stevens over to Kia Nurse. Nurse right side. She dribbles into the paint. Picks up her dribble. Needs help. Finds Aaron McDonald top of the key. She pulls up top of the key 3 short. Ball tipped around and Juhas secures the rebound. Courtney Williams comes off the screen from Alana Smith. Over to Juhas. Over to McBride. McBride comes off the screen to Alana Smith. Alana Smith over to Courtney Williams. Top of the key. Kayla McBride. Deep 3. Kayla McBride knocks down the 3. And it's back to double-digit lead for the Lynx. 44-33. Sparks had their shot. It's 44-33, under 2.5 to go here. Sparks need a bucket. Ari McDonald on the drive. Out to Azare Stevens. She drives right by Juhas. No help there. Azare, oh, she leaves it short. And rebound to Courtney Williams. Azare down in the backcourt. They're playing 4-on-5. Bridget Carlton walks into a 3, knocks it down. And just like that, it's back to a 14-point game with 2 minutes to go. So Bridget Carlton knocks down the 3. McDonald over to Stevens. Stevens, they call an offensive foul away from the play on De'Erica Hamby. She did the hook your arm move, and we have a stoppage in play. Officials timeout right here. The Lynx have retaken their double-digit lead, 47-33. They've outscored the Sparks 18-17 here in the second quarter. So the Sparks had cut this to within 5. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, the 3-point ball does kill you. Bridget hits a 3. Kayla McBride hits a 3. And just like that, it's back to 14. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate for the Sparks, but there's still a half of basketball to go. They've come back from already a double-digit deficit. They'll just have to do it again if they want to win this game. Salute to everybody still in the chat, on the YouTube, on the Twitch. Salute to all of y'all for the only game on the slate tonight. Appreciate the support. If you're new here, we do watch-alongs. We've been doing watch-alongs all season long. Make sure you're tuned in tomorrow if you can for, we should have a doubleheader watch-along tomorrow. Liberty versus Sun. And then I think that second game is the Aces and the Mystics, if I'm not mistaken. That game starts at 3. No, it's the Aces and the Storm. That should be a good one. So Aces versus Storm at 3 p.m. Eastern. So we'll have 2 of those games. We do have Washington and Indiana, Atlanta at Chicago at 12 p.m. Eastern. During the Liberty game, we definitely will be keeping track of those games, seeing how Caitlin and Angel are doing and how the score shakes out. But tomorrow is camp day around the W. 5 games on the slate, all starting fairly early, especially if you're on the West Coast. The Liberty and Connecticut play at 8 a.m. if you're on the West. But we'll go over the schedule at halftime and go over the box score and the team stats of this game at halftime as well. So we can see how the teams are faring. So we have Bridget Carleton tied for the Lynx high in scoring with 8. She's tied with Xander Lassini. You have 2 players with 7 in McBride and Uhas. For the Sparks, Dearica Hamby leading the way with 9. Next best is Clarendon off the bench with 6. And then you have Azare Stevens with 5. All right, so broadcast is back on. Lynx to inbound here after that. Offensive foul by Hamby. Alana Smith inbounds to Kayla McBride. McBride brings it up the court over to Alana Smith, to Courtney Williams here. Ray Burrell has checked into the game for Rickea Jackson, and Crystal Dangerfield getting minutes here on a hardship contract, and for Aaron McDonald. Alana Smith on the drive, Euro step, goes up with the left, misses, rebound to Hamby. Hamby over to Clarendon. Clarendon over to Ray Burrell, corner to Dangerfield. Dangerfield corner 3 and misses. That's not her forte. She got touched the ball and she shot it immediately. Courtney Williams over to Uhas, to Carleton. Bridget Carleton, good bounce pass to Uhas, and that's an easy layup. They've been abusing that left side of the paint, that pick and roll. They send 2 to the ball, leaves the roller wide open. Ray Burrell over to Dangerfield. Dangerfield looking for Yeru. They get it to Yeru. Yeru gets fouled by Dorka Uhas. Do they call it a shooting foul? We shall see. They don't call it a shooting foul. Oh, it is. So Yeru at the line for free throws. So it's 49-33, 52 seconds to go here. 52 seconds to go. Yeru at the line for free throws. Lee knocks down the first. Lee Yeru acquired in the offseason. I believe she was with Chicago before. Correct me if I'm wrong. She was in that Julie Alamon, and it was Julie Alamon and Lee Yeru that were traded over to the Sparks. Yeru hits the second. So it's 49-35 here. 49-35 here. Lynx with the ball. Courtney Williams over to McBride. Back to Courtney. Courtney to Uhas. Uhas with the pump fake from 3. Gets it to Bridget on the curl. Bridget, mid-range jump shot. Misses. Uhas offensive rebound goes up and scores. Very good defense. Just couldn't secure the rebound. Dorka had positioning there. Dangerfield over to Burrell. Burrell, they call an offensive foul on Hamby on the screen there. That's 3 fouls on Hamby in the first half. She just gave him a little push at the end of that screen. And that's her 3rd foul. So that's at least it's at the end of the second quarter. So it's not too bad. So there's a half a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Lynx ball here. 51-35. 10 seconds left on the game clock. Courtney Williams over to McBride. Back to Courtney. Over to Dorka. Back to Courtney. Courtney with 4. Throws it. Gets deflected. Shot clock violation. And it's a shot clock violation with 1 second left on the clock. Oh, why did it switch? 1 second left on the clock here. Hamby inbounds to Dangerfield. Dangerfield from half court and airballs it. So at the end of the first half, the Lynx 51, the Sparks 35. Lynx shooting 54% from the field. We'll take a look at all of those stats momentarily. They asked Laisha Clarendon, where were the defensive breakdowns? Responded with everywhere. I mean, she ain't lying. She ain't lying. They were abusing that pick and roll. Taking advantage of the way the Sparks were playing them. All right, let's take a look at this. Hope you guys can see that all. All right, so at halftime, Lynx 51, Sparks 35. The Lynx outscored LA 29-16 in that first quarter. Second quarter outscored them 22-19, which is why the score is 51-35. Carlton, for the Lynx, 12 minutes, 8 points, 2 of 2 from 3, has 2 rebounds and 2 assists. You have Alana Smith with 4 points and 3 rebounds. You have Dorka Juhas with 11 points and 4 rebounds. Kayla McBride with 7 points. And Courtney Williams with 2 points and 4 assists. For Xander Lassini, off the bench with 8 points, 2 of 2 from 3. You have Diamond Miller with 6 points off the bench. Pali with 3 and Heidemann with 2. For the Sparks, we have Hamby, played 18 minutes, 9 points and 5 rebounds. You have Azare Stevens with 5 points and 4 rebounds in her first start of the season. Rickea Jackson, only 2 points at the half, only taking 3 shots. Kia Nurse with 3 points and Ari McDonald with 2 points and 4 assists. Lee Rue, 4 points. Clarendon with 6. Dangerfield with none. Burrell and Zaya Cook with 2 points apiece. Let's take a look at these team stats. So, as I mentioned, the Lynx are shooting 54% from the field. The Sparks are shooting 37.9%. From three-point range, the Lynx are 6 for 11, shooting 54.5%. The Sparks are 2 for 10, shooting 20%. Free throw is advantage LA 11 for 11 from the line, 5 for 5 for the Lynx. Both teams have not missed a free throw. Lynx leading the rebounding battle 18-14. So the Sparks are going to have to clean that up. Assists, the Lynx are leading that 14-8. As I mentioned, they love to move the ball. So I'm not surprised they're leading this game in assists. They're leading the steal battle 3-2, the block battle 3-1. The turnover battle, they're leading 4-9. They've only conceded 2 points off of their 4 turnovers. The Sparks have conceded 9 points off of their 8 turnovers. Lynx have 10 fast break points compared to the Sparks 2. Points in the paint, the Lynx are leading 20-16. Fouls, almost about even, 11 for the Lynx, 10 for the Sparks. The Sparks have not led in this game. The Lynx have led by as many as 16. So you see the box score and the team stats there. Lynx leading in pretty much every major statistical category, percentage-wise and amount-wise. So that is the halftime breakdown. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. As I mentioned, pretty busy day tomorrow, early day tomorrow, for these teams. We got, if you look at Wednesday, July 10th, we got New York at Connecticut, 11 a.m. Eastern. That game will be on League Pass. Remember, blackout restrictions do apply. So that game's at 11 a.m. Then at 12 p.m., we have 2 games. We have the Mystics visiting Indiana. At 12 p.m., that game is on NBA TV. Remember, blackout restrictions still do apply if you live in the Indiana or the Washington, D.C. area. At the Atlanta Dream take on the Chicago Sky at 12 p.m. as well. That game will be on League Pass. Then you have Vegas at Seattle at 3 p.m. That should be a good one. A battle of the West heavyweights, the league heavyweights. Both teams are jockeying for positioning at the moment. I think the Stormer and 4th seed, and the Aces are 5th seed, with identical records. And then you have Dallas at Phoenix at 3:30. So all 5 games tomorrow are day games. There will be no night games tomorrow. So be aware of that. It is camp day. On Thursday, there's only one game. So Chicago playing a back-to-back. They play at home. Then they have to fly to New York and take on the Liberty for their third matchup of the season. Season series is tied 1 game apiece. I will be at that game in Barclays Center. That game is on Amazon Prime Video at 7 p.m. Eastern. So no watch along that day. Make sure you're tuned in on Prime for it. On Friday, we got 3 games. We got the Aces at Atlanta, 7:30 p.m. on Ion. We have the Mercury at Indiana, 7:30 on Ion as well. And Minnesota at Seattle, 10 p.m. Eastern. All these games are on Ion. If you have YouTube TV, I was able to double box the games. So they have the built-in multi-view, and you'll be able to watch both games at the same time that come on at 7:30. Saturday, New York at Chicago again. So they play on Thursday in Brooklyn, then they play in Chicago on Saturday. New York at Chicago, 1 p.m. ABC. Make sure you're tuned in for that. I won't be able to watch that game, but I will catch it afterwards. LA at Dallas at 3:30 on CBS. So be ready to watch that as well. And then on Sunday, another full slate on Sunday. Excuse me. We have Phoenix at Connecticut, 1 p.m. on ABC. We have Vegas at Washington, 3 p.m. Then we have Indiana at Minnesota, 4 p.m. That should be a good one. That's on ESPN. And Atlanta at Seattle at 6 p.m. So a couple good matchups here. Indiana, Minnesota should be a good one. Phoenix, Connecticut should be a good one. That's why those games happen to fall on national TV. And we'll take a look even further into next week, because remember, guys, next week is the final season. Not the final season. The final week of the WNBA season before the Olympic break. Because remember, the WNBA does take place during the Summer Olympics. So there will be about a month break for the WNBA. So you have only games on Tuesday and Wednesday. You have a 4-game slate on Tuesday and a 2-game slate on Wednesday. And then after that, we have the All-Star weekend on Saturday. You have the All-Star game on Saturday here, as well as the 3-point contest and all of that. I think that will be on probably. I forgot if the W does it all in one day. No, I think they do it. They split it up. I think they split it up if I remember correctly. John asks, did they add a player or update to the U.S. team? Not as of yet. I guess they're still trying to find out if Napheesa is going to be good for the Olympics. So I guess as we get closer to that time, they'll update us on that. But after Wednesday, July 17th, there will be no WNBA games until August. So just keep that in mind. I think the next game won't be until around here, August 15th. Oh, no. Of course, ads always in the way. There we go. Yeah, so I think the first games of the return, yep, August 15th, where we'll have a full slate of games after the Olympic break. I will probably, if time permits and the schedule allows, I'll probably do some USA Women's National Basketball games. That are, when they play over in Paris. Remember, Paris is about 5-6 hours ahead, so those games will take place probably at like 3 p.m. in the afternoon or in the morning, depending on when they play. So be prepared for that. I'll definitely will schedule it on the community. I'll let y'all know in the community post on the YouTube channel and in the Discord. I'll put it on the schedule if I am indeed going to do those games. But that is the schedule for the WNBA for this week, next week, and when they decide to return after the Olympic break. All right, people. So we're still at halftime. If you're just joining, let me get things ready for the third quarter as we do this. Third quarter, we're all set and ready to go. Tips for the Sparks. Tips for the Sparks for the second half. Definitely needs to decide what they want to do on these pick and rolls. Do they want to switch? Do they want to they've been hard doubling and it hasn't been working. That pass has been making it through to the wide open roller. So they probably have to mix up the coverages, honestly. They have to sometimes switch, sometimes hedge and recover, have the weak side defender come and rotate, and you get into a extra everybody rotating over to help out. And they also need to continue to feature Dearica Hamlin. She can't get frustrated and start doing these offensive fouls. She's the key. If she has 3 fouls already, 3 more fouls, she's fouled out of the game. So she needs to control those fouls and take advantage of the mismatches. Rickea Jackson's gonna have to help out as well. She only has 2 points. They're not gonna win if she only has 2 points. Your point guards need to take care of the basketball as well. I will say Aari McDonald, she did have 4 in the first quarter. She didn't have any in that second quarter, excuse me. So she definitely did improve her ball security. All right. So it looks like they're showing highlights of the first quarter here on the broadcast. Let's see what the Sparks and Lynx have for us in here in the second half. Salute to everybody hanging around on this Tuesday evening for some W hoops. Hopefully we're in for a great second half and it doesn't turn into a blowout. Okay, we're still at halftime. They're still getting things ready for the second half. All right, I thought they were coming back. They had the broadcast up. I thought they were coming back. Pull a little okey doke on us. In the meantime, let me put up the standings so you guys can see what the standings look like. So currently, we have New York in first place with 17-4 record. Connecticut, the same record. New York is in first place because New York already beat them in the one matchup they had this season so far. Minnesota playing now, they have a chance to move to 16-6 if they win tonight's game. The seed denotes that they won the Commissioner's Cup final. Then we have Seattle with 14-7. You have Las Vegas with 13-7. Phoenix 11-10. The Fever at 9-13, and the Sky at 8-12. That closes out the playoff positioning. You have Atlanta at 7-13. The Sparks at 5-16. Then we have the Mystics and Wings tied at the bottom of the list. with 5 and 17. They're talking to one of the assistant coaches of the Sparks at the moment, asking what do they need to do in the second half to come back in this game. And she said it's really about effort. They really have to have better effort here. All right, so now we're actually about to start. Bench points. The Lynx are actually winning bench points 19-14. So as I mentioned, the Lynx are winning pretty much every statistical category. They're beating them all over the floor. But let's see how the Sparks respond. The beginning of this third quarter will definitely tell us how this game is going to end. If the Lynx go on a run and go up 20 plus points, we know what we're in for. But the Sparks do start this quarter with the ball, and we're off, people. Third quarter has begun. Minnesota Lynx over the Sparks at the moment. Hamby with the ball, top of the key. Hand off to Aaron McDonald. McDonald looking for Rickea Jackson. Rickea Jackson out to De'Erica. Over to Ari. Ari with 7 on the shot clock. She gets to the foul line. Corner to Azare Stevens. Up top to Kia Nurse. 3 on the clock. Kia Nurse throws it up, gets deflected, and bad possession to start the first quarter. Shot clock violation. So ball with the Lynx. Not a good possession to start. There was a lot of passing on the perimeter. People not wanting to shoot. Gave it to Kia Nurse with 3 seconds left. She had to shoot it. Kayla McBride over to Courtney Williams in the corner for 3. Rebound to Ari McDonald. Ari McDonald's quick. She's on the run. Doesn't have numbers. She Euro steps on Kayla McBride and scores. So Ari McDonald scores the layup. Right-hand layup. She's a lefty. And it's 51-37. Alana Smith looking for McBride. McBride, is that a deep 2? It is a deep 2 for Kayla McBride. Foot was on the line. So it's 53-37. Aaron McDonald with the ball. Trying to call out the play. Gives it to Azare Stevens. Over to Rickea Jackson, left side of the floor. Rickea with the drive over to Azare. Over to Aaron McDonald, right side. Aaron McDonald steps back for 3. Rolls around. Rebound to Alana Smith. Over to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams comes off the screen. Rescreen by Alana Smith. On the roll, Alana Smith goes up. And left-hand layup is good. They're abusing that. That's one of their pet plays, Minnesota. The screen and rescreen to the screen, their screen and then the rescreen for the roll, and it results in a layup. Kia Nurse over to McDonald. McDonald down to De'Erica Hamby. They bring the double. De'Erica doesn't see it. It's a turnover. Courtney Williams over to McBride for 3. She misses. Rebound to Aaron McDonald. Game is hanging in the balance here. It's 55-37. 18-point game. Kia Nurse out to Azare Stevens. Over to Rickea Jackson. She tries to drive. The paint is clogged. Rickea Jackson, fall away jump shot is good. Rickea Jackson knocks down the mid-range jumper. It's 55-39. Sparks need to string together some stops and come score on the other end. John says the Lynx are running them out the stadium. Yeah. Sparks need to get some defensive stops here. Courtney Williams with the ball in front of the Sparks bench. She reverse spins, goes corner to McBride. McBride crossover on Rickea Jackson. Step back jumper over to Courtney Williams. She throws up a jumper in and out, and Azare Stevens secures the rebound. So let's see if the Sparks can do here. McDonald gets the screen from Rickea. Over to Rickea now at the 3-point line. Rickea Jackson attacks McBride, puts her in the post. They bring the double over, and Alana Smith comes over and steals the ball. Not ideal there. Courtney Williams. They leave her open for the mid-range. She doesn't take it. She goes over to Dorka. Dorka handoff to Alana Smith, and the ball gets stripped out of her hands, out of bounds. It stays Lynx ball. $14 on the shot clock for the Lynx here. 55-39. Lynx have not trailed in this game. Oh, they've had Courtney Williams on the backdoor play, and she scores. Fifth baseline out of bounds play. Courtney Williams ends up getting Ari screened by her own player. And the Sparks have the ball here. Hamby over to Azare Stevens. Stevens wide open for three. And another air ball out of bounds. Well, not looking particularly good for the Sparks here. This is Azare Stevens' second game of the season. Her first start. So trying to shake off some rust as well. Alana Smith with the ball. Goes over to Courtney Williams. Courtney Williams guarded by Ari. 10 on the shot clock. Wants the screen left side. She goes to the left. Ari fights over it. They get the screen back right. They call a moving screen on Alana Smith. John Taylor says Courtney is always sneaky and she averages near triple-double. Yeah, very good rebounder for a point guard. Definitely gets 6+ assists and about 9 to 10 points a game. Ball and play. Clarendon into the game for McDonald. So Clarendon over to Hamby, over to Nurse. Nurse looking for Uru. Uru's in the game for Azare. Nurse for three. She bounces over and hits the shot clock. So it's a turnover. It's out of bounds, I should say. Daniel, my guy, says my Sparks may be losing, but we got 3 chips, so I ain't tripping. Listen, man, when in doubt, bring up the chips. I hear you, man. I hear you. What is the issue? Like Keita was saying earlier, if you don't follow Keita Love Sports, definitely follow her for all things women's basketball. Out of bounds pass by Bridget Carlton. It's a turnover. They definitely need a point guard or a shooting guard. Whether that they acquire that in the draft or they get a bona fide scorer. Because the future is Rakia, Hamby, and De'Erica, and Cam Brink. Ray Burrell checks into the game. She shoots a 3 short, and Bridget Carlton with the rebound. Sparks struggling here. 18-point game. They're holding on for dear life. Dorka Uwell's on a runway to the basket, goes up for the layup and scores. 20-point game here. Yeah, I was looking for Ari early, but Ari's been super inconsistent. Some games she'll have a good game like that. Oh, they find Hamby in the paint, like I've been saying all game, and she finally scores. 59-41. I picked up Azare Stevens because Napheesa Collier got hurt, and Ryan Howard is hurt for me. Brittany Sykes is hurt for me. I have a lot of hurt players. As McBride misses the jump shot, Ray Burrell with the rebound. I picked up Jordan Canada. She got hurt, so I'm grasping at straws here in fantasy. Kia Nurse on the drive, goes up with the right-hand layup and scores. Cheryl Reeve calls a timeout. So the Sparks trying to hang around here. It's 59-43. Oh, De'Erica Hamby in this quarter has passed 3,000 points for her career, so salute to Hamby. John Taylor said Sparks should have signed Odyssey Sims. Yeah, I guess they thought that they had the point guard position under control, but Odyssey, of course, she has more familiarity with the Dallas Wings as she played there last season. So that's why it's been working out so well for Odyssey. Because she has familiarity with that coach and that system. Yeah, Ryan on my team, she got hurt. So I'm not sure. They haven't given really any updates on her, so I'm not sure her status for 3-on-3 in the Olympics. 3x3 just sound. I can't say 3x3, 3-on-3 on the Olympics. So I'm not sure what her status is for that. But we shall see. So Hamby with 11 points and 5 rebounds to lead the Sparks. For the Lynx, you have Uhas with 13. Daniel says you have KP and CC on my fantasy team. And that's a good team right there. Who else do I have? I forgot who I have. Everybody, all my stars are hurt essentially, so that's why it's annoying. But I'm gonna look right now. I got Courtney Williams, Kelsey Mitchell, Jonquel Jones. Oh, I forgot Dearica Hamby. I just picked up Azrae Stevens, Tierra McCowan, Napheesa Collier, Ariel Atkins. I had to pick up Maisha Hines Allen, and I have Ryan Howard on my one IR spot. I had to drop Brittany Sykes, who I drafted because she's out till after the Olympics. Johnson's Clark should have made the 3-on-3 team. The thing with 3-on-3, John, is that you have to have certain amount of games played in the 3-on-3 tournament to be eligible for 3-on-3. It's not like the 5-on-5 game. That's the thing with 3-on-3. You have to have played in some of those 3-on-3 tournaments to acquire those points. Oh, Juju Watkins here at the game. They have the camera all up in Shorty face. She trying to not. She trying not to look at the camera. That's hilarious. Johnson, Natasha Howard also. Yeah, she got hurt that first game of the season. So subs have been made. It's Heidemann, Xander Lassini, Uhas, McBride, and Alana Smith. Xander Lassini gets blocked by Ray Burrell, and out of bounds ball stays with the Lynx. Heidemann inbounds to McBride. Oh, Sigmund, what's going on? Nah, listen, man, anything can happen. Heidemann over to Uhas. Uhas is the leading scorer for the Lynx as she gets fouled on the drive to the basket by Lee Yeru. So it's Clarendon, Burrell, Nurse, Yeru, and dang, I forgot the other person that's in the game. And Hamby, excuse me. Xander Lassini to inbound. She gets it in. Over to Bridget Carlton. Over to Uhas. Uhas, 10 seconds on the clock. Over to McBride. Carlton for 3, and she buries the 3. Bridget Carlton, as I mentioned, she likes playing against the Sparks. That's her third 3 of the game. So it's 62-43 here. Burrell with the ball. Burrell looking for somebody. Gets it to Nurse. Nurse over to Clarendon. High low to Hamby. They bring the double. Hamby gets the ball stripped and turnover. Dorka Uhas with the steal. Hamby has to find a way to get out of that double team quicker. She brought the ball low. Yeah, Sigmund. The Yankees are getting me frustrated. I'm not watching no games until they start doing what they're supposed to do. Heidemann, corner 3, wide open, and we're over the 20-point deficit here. 65-43, 22-point lead here. I thought the Sparks would give him a run, but it's not looking that way. Burrell throws it down to Yeru, and they called an offensive foul on Yeru on the post-up. So Napheesa out, doesn't matter. Team keeps on humming. So Kayla McBride to the bench. Ball in play. Let's see who checks in first. So it's Heidemann, Carlton, Uhas, Xander Lassini, and Diamond Miller. Xander Lassini off the curl, out to Carlton, over to Heidemann. Heidemann hesitates, shoots to 3, misses. Yeru with the rebound. Over to Clarendon. Clarendon on the run and gets fouled by Xander Lassini. John Taylor says Hamby getting too excited in the post. Yeah. She has the favorable advantage. They bring the double. At that point, you just got to either make your quick move out of the double or pass the ball back out to the open player. She's done neither, and it was a turnover. Burrell inbounds to Hamby. Burrell with the crossover. Ooh, good crossover on Xander Lassini. Out to Zaya Cook. Over to Hamby. Hamby over to Clarendon. Right side of the floor. She spins off. Picks up her dribble. Finds Zaya Cook on the cut. It's 5 to go. She shoots a contested 3. And rebound to Uhas. Offense is hard to come by for the Sparks here. Diamond Miller, foul line jump shot, bounces around, rebound to Hamby. Hamby out to Clarendon, right side of the floor. Over to Hamby. Hamby top of the key. Over to Clarendon, down to Uru. Uru in the post against Uhas. Goes up with the left. Misses, gets her own rebound. Tries to find Clarendon on the cut. Another turnover for the Sparks. Napheesa Heidemann over to Uhas. Uhas handoff to Xander Lassini. Over to Bridget Carlton. Wide open three. Money in the bank. And Kurt Miller frustrated. You could see the defense was a little disappointed in themselves because they didn't rotate over to one of the hottest three-point shooters on the Lynx. And this game is getting out of hand. 68-43, a minute 47 to go in the third quarter. And my resident Sparks fan, Daniel, says, we are tanking for Paige. John Taylor says, Ray Burrell, Scott Burrell's daughter? Yes. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. No, I thought it was Scott. It's John. He's another athlete, excuse me. Correct myself here. Correct myself. Her mom played basketball at the University in Nevada in 92, 93. And her dad was an All-American in the long jump for the University in Nevada. So not Scott Burrell's daughter, John and Ann Burrell. Forgive me, Ray Burrell, for for calling someone your dad who wasn't your dad. So she's come from a family of Olympians. I mean, of track and field players, not 90s basketball players. So it's 68-43, people. Timeout is over. Sparks with the ball. They've fallen apart here in this quarter. It hasn't been good. Stevens with the ball. So Stevens back in the game. Stevens over to Zaya Cook, over to Hamby. Hamby, Sika Kone is checked in. Azare Stevens under the basket and scores. So it's 68-45 here. Xander Lassini with the ball. So it's Xander Lassini, Pili, Sika Kone, Heidemann, and Miller. All bench unit here. Xander Lassini over to Kone. Back, Kone handoff to Heidemann. Heidemann over to Xander Lassini. You cannot leave her open. Thankfully, she misses for the Sparks. And Azare Stevens gets the rebound, fouled by Diamond Miller. So it's Sparks ball here. Ball inbound with the Sparks. 68-45. A minute to go here in the third quarter. The Lynx. Clarendon with a bad pass. Miscommunication. She turns it over. Pali with the Euro step. She might have traveled. They don't call it. And she scores. She definitely traveled, though. 70-45 here. And this game is getting out of hand. Pali with 5 points. She hit a 3 in the first quarter. Hits a 2-point layup there. Zaya Cook answers back with a 3. And it's 70-48. Sparks trying to make this score stay respectable at least. Heidemann with the ball. Heidemann, freeway to the basket, goes behind the back, passes Xander Lassini. She gets 5 feet from the basket, misses the floater. Rebound to Burrell. Over to Hamby. Hamby attacks Pali, goes up with the left and scores, fouled and one. De'Erica Hamby. So it's back to a 20-point deficit. Sparks trying to come up with something to end this third quarter. Pali with the travel, though. She definitely traveled. Yeah, Pali is a fan fave. Definitely is. Hamby for the 3-point play. Knocks it down. So it's 70-51. They get it under 20 here. Lynx will shoot one shot before the end of this quarter. Shot clock is turned off. Heidemann with the ball at half court. Heidemann calling for a play. I don't know what she calling for. Kone. Kone screens her. Heidemann into the paint. She probe dribble and they call a foul on the reach in. With 2 seconds to go. There's 2 seconds on the clock, people. 2 seconds to go. Oh, I didn't even see your comment. My bad, Daniel. Jay, do you think Sparks will fire Kurt Miller in the offseason? They'll probably give him another year, to be honest. They'll give him another year. 2 seconds to go in this quarter, guys. 2 seconds. Diamond Miller to inbound here. Diamond Miller looking, gets it to Xander Lassini, turnaround jumper, air ball, and that's how the quarter ends. So at the end of the third quarter, score is bad. 70-51. Minnesota outscores LA 19-16 in that quarter. So it was that first quarter that really has done the Sparks in. They got outscored 29-16. The other 2 quarters, the second and the third, they've only been outscored by 3 points. But that's how basketball works. You got to play a full 40 in order to secure a win here. So Bridget Carleton, 14 points, made all of her threes, has 3 rebounds and 3 assists. John Taylor says just don't lose by 30. Yeah, just make the deficit look respectable. That's all you can do at this point. So, looking at the box score, people. Looking at the box score, we got 14 from Carleton to lead the way. You got 13 from Uhas. You got, for the Sparks, you have 14 from Hamby. And you got 7 from Stevens. So, it's been a tough game scoring-wise for the Sparks. And defensively. They got some young ladies singing here in between the third and fourth quarters. I don't know who this lady is. 70-51. Oh, it looks like she's... I don't know who she is, but salute to her. John Taylor says Sparks should hire a college coach. That's the thing. Which college coaches are going to leave their situation to come to a rebuilding Sparks team? Unless one of their dreams was to come to the WNBA, you know? It's one of them types of situations. So we're at the break right now between the third and the fourth quarter. Getting ready for the fourth in a game that which has turned pretty bad. The Sparks had a spark in that second quarter. They made it. They were coming back, and then they fell apart. That's what the Sparks have done in this game. Haven't been consistent on both ends of the floor. The Lynx, no matter who's in, they run the same plays. They have a bunch of 3-point shooters. Their bigs are solid. They're interviewing Lindsey Vonn at the moment. So they're interviewing her, asking her about the Sparks and coming to WNBA games and things of that nature. But ball is in play here for the fourth quarter, people. The Lynx have it. Pili, Xander Lassini, Heidemann, Miller, and Kone. Ball to Heidemann. Heidemann, top of the key, looking for somebody. 7 on the shot clock. Finds Xander Lassini. Over to Alyssa Pili. Baseline jumper is good. Wide open. She knocks it down. So Pili up to 7 points here. 7 points. John said it should be you had a good team with Brink, Hamby, and Jackson plus a top 3 draft pick. Yeah. Zaya Cook in the corner for 3. Misses. Rebound to Kone. Gets it to Heidemann. So Heidemann goes behind the back, dribble, probing over to Miller, down to Kone. Kone faces up, handoff to Heidemann. Heidemann Looking for somebody. Over to Pili. 10 on the shot clock. Alyssa Pili gets the ball poked away by Hamby. Xander Lassini picks it up. Xander Lassini, hesitation dribble. 2 seconds. Miller, pump fakes, and shot clock violation. So good defense by the Sparks there. It may be too little too late, but they are fighting. John says next year the Sparks should do better. Yeah. Hopefully, Brink comes back. Everything goes well with her recovery from the ACL as the ball is in play with the Sparks. Clarendon, Cook, Hamby, Burrell, and Stevens. So Cook with the ball. Cook drives on Heidemann. Clarendon tries to drive by Xander Lassini. Blocking foul. They say it's on the floor. Foul is on the floor. That should be on Kone. All right, they're still interviewing Lindsey Vaughn. But I'm trying to watch some hoops here. I guess they figured this game's a blowout. We might as well talk to her. So ball in play with the Sparks. Burrell inbounds to Clarendon on the drive. Clarendon throws up the floater, gets blocked by Xander Lassini. Pili, over to Heidemann. Heidemann right side of the floor. Gets the screen from Pili. Out to Kone. Kone handoff to Diamond Miller. Goes off her knee. She saves it before it goes in the backcourt. Miller with 8 seconds on the shot clock. They bring the double over there. Miller throws it through. Azare comes over for the steal. It goes out of bounds off of the Lynx. So a good defense by the Sparks, but let's see if they can capitalize on the offensive end. Daniel says Kia Nurse should get more minutes. She needs to play more. Kia Nurse has played 21 minutes. She has 5 points. She hasn't made a 3. Ball in play with the Sparks. Approaching 8 minutes to go here. Clarendon with the ball. Clarendon comes off the screen. Clarendon drop off to Azare Stevens on the drive and scores. So Azare Stevens coming back into form here. She has 9 points on 4 of 8 shooting. Heidemann over to Kone. Kone tries to drive on Azare. Spin up, under, gets blocked by Azare, but fouled. So Kone will go to the line for free throws. So Kone going to the line for free throws. Kone with the spin move, she pump fakes. Azare jumps up. The second block was good. Kone misses the first free throw. And Kone buries the second. So it's a 20-point game, 73-53. Let's see if the Sparks can do something good here. Dearica Hamby on the drive. Loses the ball, but Zia Cook saves it. Zia Cook guarded by Carlton. Over to Hamby. Hamby gets into the paint, throws up the jumper, bounces around, and it drops. Tough shot by Hamby, but it falls through. And it's 73-55. Alyssa Pili with the crossover on Hamby. Handoff to Carlton. Carlton corner to... Who's that? Kone. Oh, she tries to pass it back to Carlton. Steal by Hamby. Hamby over to Zia Cook. That turnover was by Diamond Miller, Ray Burrell with the pump fake. She shoots the mid-range jumper. Misses. Rebound to Pili. Over to Heidemann. Heidemann over to Carlton. Carlton screen from Kone. And they call a foul on Zia Cook. Trying to fight over the screen. Dana says, has Crystal Dangerfield entered the game? Yes, she came in. She played about 2 minutes. Yep, 2 minutes exactly. Took 2 shots from 3. Missed them both. No, that last shot was like a half-court shot at the buzzer. But she played 2 minutes, 0 for 2. And then went back to the bench. Ball in play with the Lynx. McBride, Alana Smith, Dorky Uhas, Courtney Williams all back in the game. Courtney Williams off the screen, drops it off for Alana Smith. Corner to... Oh, good shot clock violation on the Lynx. Great defense by the Sparks. They try to get the ball to Bridget Carlton in the corner. Deflected the ball and saved it in bounds so that it could be a shot clock violation. Ray Burrell on the defense there. Ball in play with the Sparks. Clarendon over to Burrell over to Hamby. Hamby hand off to Clarendon. Clarendon gets the screen again from Hamby. Goes over to Burrell. Burrell dives on the floor, gets it to Azare Stevens. 7 on the shot clock. Cross court to Hamby. Hamby for 3 off the front rim. Clarendon comes over and they call a foul on Clarendon going for the offensive rebound. So 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go here. More substitutions happening. Ball in play with the Lynx. Rakia Jackson back into the game for Isaiah Cook. They call a moving screen on Alana Smith, so a turnover by the Lynx. Ball back to the Sparks here. So now see if the Sparks can capitalize here. Azare Stevens inbounds to Laisha Clarendon. It looks like they're about to put Alyssa Pili back into the game. Clarendon over to Hamby. Hamby over to Rakia. Let's see if Rakia can get on back on the board here. Mid-range jump shot. Misses. Rebound to Dorka Juhas. Juhas over to Courtney Williams. Gets the screen from Alana Smith. Mid-range jump shot. Misses. Ray Burrell saves the ball, and it's a rebound to the Sparks. Sparks struggling to score here. They can't buy a bucket. Clarendon with the ball over to Hamby. Hamby, and they call a... What do they call here? They call an offensive foul on Rakia Jackson, so another turnover by the Sparks. Officials timeout here. 73-55, 5 minutes, 24 seconds left to go at the game. Daniel says there really isn't moves at the deadline. Yeah, in the W, they don't really have any major moves at the trade deadline. The only moves you'll see is players being acquired off of like hardship contracts or anything like that. But in the W, there isn't too much movement at the deadline. All right, so with basically 5 minutes left in this game, it hasn't been good, guys. Unfortunately, sorry to my Sparks fans, but this game has not been good. The Minnesota Lynx are a very good defensive team, very good 3-point shooting team. They will exploit whatever weaknesses they see, and that's what they've been doing all night. Let me see what my bets are looking like. I thought LA would keep it close, and they haven't been able to. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I had McBride for 15 points, which she has 9. Rakia Jackson for 6 rebounds. She has 0. Alana Smith for 6 rebounds. She has 4. I had Ari McDonald for 4 assists. She might have 3. She was doing well early. Oh, she does have 4 assists. I just haven't counted it yet. But I had Rakia Jackson for 4 rebounds and McBride for 2 threes. But we'll see. We will see. So they're coming back to the game now. They just had a nice timeout. 73-55, 5 minutes, 24 seconds to go in this game. It will be Minnesota ball. Alyssa Pili in the game. And ball's in play with the Lynx. Courtney Williams with the ball. Courtney Williams over to Pele. Over to McBride. McBride with the swing through move. And Ray Burrell playing too tight of a defense. Kayla McBride draws the foul. She does that little swing through move. Ball in play with the Lynx. Williams over to Uhas. Back to Williams. Williams guarded tightly. 5 on the shot clock. Williams over to Pele. Pele, 2 seconds. She's not looking at the shot clock. And shot clock violation. The trade deadline, I didn't even see you ask that question. The trade deadline is, I don't know when they're going to put it. It's probably going to be in August. Ball and play with the Sparks. Let's see what they can do here. I've been saying that for the whole quarter. The lead has just been stuck at 18. Alyssa Pele guarding Azurá Stevens, who gets the ball to Burrell. Back to Stevens. They go high-low and a turnover. Just turnover after turnover, people. I don't know what else to say. Missed by the Lynx. Rebound to Hamby. Clarendon with the ball. Clarendon down to Stevens. Stevens go past to Clarendon, and she scores the layup. Finally, some good offense. The trade deadline is August 20th, Daniel. August 20th is the trade deadline. Timeout by the Lynx. So 73-57 here. So you're saying there's a chance? We'll see. John says at least not a 30-point loss. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Well, we're at another timeout here. Lynx not trying to lose this lead. They're being outscored 6-3 in this quarter, so it's been a very low-scoring fourth quarter. We're over halfway done with it, and 9 points between both teams. Let's look forward for the Sparks here. The Sparks' next matchup is on July 13th against the Dallas Wings. They take the trip to Dallas to take on the Wings. In that game, in that series, the series is tied 1 game apiece. The Wings won the first game on May 26th by 1, 84-83. On June 7th, the Sparks beat them in LA, 81-72. John asks, where's my mouse? John asks, do you think the Sparks team will have less wins than last year's Fever team? I have to look at the rest of their schedule. They have the Wings, Storm, Liberty, Sky, Aces, Sun, Mystics. I don't think so. Last year's team, what did they have? The Fever, I have it right here. The Fever had a 13-27 record last year. 13-27. So do I think that the Sparks can find 8 wins to equal that record? Honestly, looking at this, it'll be tough. If they can get the Mystics, if they can steal these games against the Wings, so if they can win on the 13th against the Wings, beat the Sky, beat the Mystics, so that's that 1, 2, 3, 4. If they could beat the Dream, that's 5. It's gonna be tough to find 8 wins here. Ball and play with the Lynx though, 73-57. Yeah, they may not be able to get that. Bridget Carlton down to Dorka, and they call offensive foul on. It might be on Alyssa Pili. On Tisha Heidemann, excuse me. Ball and play with the Sparks. Hamby still in the game with the ball. Hamby, bad pass to Steven. Steven finds Burrell, who gets back in bounds, goes corner to Rakia. Can Rakia hit the wide open three? No, she cannot. Ball gets tipped out, and Carlton with the rebound. Heidemann tries to hand it off to Carlton. She gets into the paint. Oh, switches hands and scores the layup. So Bridget Carlton with the layup. Ray Burrell quickly back the other way, gets fouled on the drive. So Bridget Carlton with 16 points in this game, and and Ray Burrell will go to the line for free throws. So Burrell at the line for the first, and she knocks it down. Burrell at the line for the second, and she knocks it down as well. So it's 75-59 with 3.5 to go here. Sparks trying to make this respectable. Kayla McBride over to Dorka. Dorka, handoff to Carlton. Carlton, right side of the floor. Carlton, great defense by the Sparks. They're all over them. They go up top to Dorka Juhas with 5 on the clock. Dorka Juhas, one leg. Oh, Azare Stevens with the block. Rebound to Hamby. Hamby on the run here. Hamby over to Clarendon. Clarendon stops her dribble over to Burrell. Burrell out to Clarendon. Clarendon down to Hamby, and they call a foul here on Dorka Juhas for holding. My boy Daniel says, Jay, do you think De'Erica Hamby stays with the Sparks? Yeah, I think De'Erica will stay with the Sparks for the long haul. I think she's found a home here. I don't think she'll leave. Ball and play with the Sparks. Clarendon drops off to Hamby. Hamby spin move and scores. De'Erica Hamby with the layup. So don't call it a comeback. It's 14-point game with a little over 2.5 to go. Nah, I think it's too little, too late, people. Heidemann with the ball. Hamby with 18 points and 8 rebounds tonight. McBride, good pass to Alana Smith. Good cut by Dorka, and she scores the layup. That was great ball movement by the Lynx. They moved the ball so well. They're going to be a very dangerous team to match up with in the postseason. Azare Stevens high low to Rakia Jackson, who gets the layup and gets fouled by Heidemann. So Rakia Jackson going to the line to complete the 3-point play. Let's see if she can get it done. Hasn't been a really good night for Rakia. Rakia Jackson with 2 for 6, 4 points. No, not 4 points. She has 6 points, and she misses the free throw. 77-63. Alana Smith with the ball. Handoff to Xander Lassini, who's checked into the game for Courtney Williams. Alana Smith on the drive. Gets blocked by Hamby. And Clarendon saves the ball. Clarendon with the ball. Clarendon over to Burrell. Burrell on the drive. Throws it up. Rakia with the rebound. Rakia pump fake goes up. And misses. Alana Smith trips, but she has the rebound, gets it over to McBride. So about 1.5 to go in this game. McBride handoff to Carlton. They call a foul on Clarendon. So Rakia Jackson with 6 points in this game. 3 of 8 shooting. So it's at a 14-point game here with 1.5 to go. So McBride at the line. The Lynx are in the bonus, so they'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Looks like substitutions are coming in after this free throw. McBride hits the first. So Dangerfield and Uru are into the game. Hamby and Rakia are out. Their night is done. Hamby finishes with 18 and 8. Rakia finishes with 6 and 1 rebound. Lynx and McBride at the line for the second free throw, and she buries it. So it's 79-63, a minute and a half to go here. Johnson, they made it interesting. Yeah, at least it wasn't 30, but the Lynx were never in doubt. Azare Stevens' drive goes up, misses, rebound by Uru. Out to Dangerfield, who's checked in. Dangerfield down to Uru. Uru can't handle the pass. It goes out of bounds. Let me see how many turnovers this is for the Sparks. The Sparks up to 17 turnovers in this game, people. As McBride's night is done, she goes to the bench. Ball and play. Pili over to Heidemann. Back to Pili. Pili's had a decent game. Over to Zandalicini. Zandalicini goes up with the floater and scores and won. Cecilia Zandalicini out of Italy. Up to 10 points here in 17 minutes. Uru won't be on this team next year with those kind of hands. I think Uru might be a long-term project for them off the bench. I don't think they want her to start, though. So Zandalicini at the line to complete the three-point play. And she does. So it's 82-63. Oh, bad pass by Azare. Heidemann steals the inbound pass and misses. Rebound to Azare. She padding her stats. Turnover and then a rebound. Ball over to Burrell. Under a minute to go here in the game, which hasn't been really close since the first quarter. Dangerfield with the ball. Dangerfield with the crossover gets fouled by Heidemann. Up by the three-point line. So the Sparks have 18 turnovers. The Lynx only have 9. They take really good care of the ball here. The Lynx do as a team. So Dangerfield at the line for free throws. 42 seconds to go here. Dangerfield knocks down the first. And second one is up and good. Dangerfield hits the second. So it's 82-65, people. 82-65. Heidemann over to Kone and over to Diamond Miller. So it's all bench unit here for the Lynx. Diamond Miller, left hand dribble into the paint. Dribbles out. Out to Zandalicini. 6 on the shot clock. Crossover. She goes right. Zandalicini over to Pili. Pili with the pump fake. Throws it up. Doesn't get it off in time. Shot clock violation. So we got 18 seconds to go here. This game is over. Ball and play with the Lynx. With the Sparks. And Burrell dribbles it across half court. Over to Azare Stevens. And they call a foul here. Ray Burrell gets hit. Daniel, unfortunate loss for the Sparks. But next time, my friend, I'll see you. Salute, salute. So Burrell going to the line for free throws. She's holding her right knee. It looks like she slipped or banged knees there. But she'll go to the line for free throws. There's only 10 seconds left in this game. Oh, her leg went out from under her there. And I think she banged into Sika Kone. Burrell knocks down the first free throw. And Burrell for the second. She knocks down the second. So it's 82-67. Roll and play here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the game. So at the end of the game, Lynx 82, Sparks 67. Let me update the standings here. So the Lynx moved to 16-6. The Sparks moved to 5-17. All right, so that should be updated down. All right, so let's take a quick look at the box score before I let y'all go. Game over. Let's refresh this. This game is over. So they get outscored 16-12. LA outscores the Lynx 16-12 in that fourth quarter, but it doesn't really matter. The damage was already done. Bridget Carlton leads the way with 16 points on 4-4 from three-point range. Alana Smith with 6 and 6 rebounds. Uhas with 15. McBride with 11. Courtney Williams with 4. Xander Lassini with 11 off the bench. 6 from Miller, 1 from Kone, 7 from Pili, and 5 from Heidemann. They shoot 49% from the field, 50% from 3. Only miss a free throw and 9 turnovers. Hamby 18-8 to lead the way. Stevens with 9 and 6. You have Rakia Jackson with 6. Nurse with 5 in 21 minutes. McDonald with 4 and 4 assists. Yeru with 4. Clarendon with 8. Dangerfield with 2. Burrell with 6. And Zycook with 5. The Sparks shoot 41% from the field. 15% from 3 with 18 turnovers. Not going to get the job done. All right, people. So that moves the Lynx to 16-6. Sparks to 5-17. And where does that drop them? 5-17. Do they drop any lower than they are? No, they're basically tied with the 11th and 12th place teams with a 5-17 record. All right, people, that is it from me tonight. Thanks for those who stayed on, who hopped in and out. Appreciate the support, the chats, all that stuff. Next time I'll be on 10:45 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Liberty versus Sun Camp Day game from Uncasville, Connecticut, Mohegan Sun Arena. So make sure you're tuned in for that if you can. Until next time, people, it's your boy Jay Jordan. Salute.